now that the gold bottle cap has been announced for Pokemon Go, we need to make some tough decisions around which Pokemon we want to use it on. And I think mythical Pokemon are the best choice for using your gold bottle cap because you can only ever get like one, maybe two of them. I mean, Meloetta was one of the only times I think we've actually been able to get two because you got the original Meloetta, then you got the shiny Meloetta. Generally, you only get one. I think Mew might be a case where you get one shiny as well, but I didn't play then, so I'm kind of upset about that, so let's not think about it. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is go through all of the mythical Pokemon that are available in Pokemon Go and rank them. Let's do a tier list to figure out which ones you should be using your bottle cap on. Now, you might not have all of these because like I said, I don't have shiny Mew, I have regular Mew. I don't have Keldeo. I lost my Diancie, more about that when we get to Diancie. But if you don't have any of these, this tier list will hopefully help you decide which Pokemon you should be using on. Use the highest one in this tier list, and hopefully maybe some of this discussion will help you think about what you want to apply it on if you're still kind of undecided about the bottle cap. So let's just jump straight into it. So we have S through to D on this tier list, S being the absolute best. I mean, it's even above A. I don't know if S stands for super or whatever, but S is the highest that we can get as part of this. Then we got A, B, C, D, with D being the worst in this. Now, if anything ranks on that D line, doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, in this case, I think it probably will, right? But when things are on D tier, doesn't mean it's not viable and you shouldn't use it. Use the Pokemon you love. That's something that I really like to advocate for as part of this. But let's just start. We'll go through them in order of what I believe to be the date that they were released into the game. We're starting with Mew. Now, Mew was first released as part of the Mythical Discovery research. It's my favorite Pokemon. Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love it so much. I buy pretty much any card that I see as part of Mew, still chasing the Origin Blue Mew as part of the Fate set, but we search on. But yeah, Mew is my favorite, but unfortunately, it's got really low attack. This thing has 210 attack. It's not great for pretty much anything, and naturally it gets a lot of comparison to Mewtwo, so I think I'm going to have to rank this one pretty low. I mean, it caps out at about 3,691 combat power, and it's the 64th best psychic type attacker, and if that's good enough for you to use, then you want to use Snarl and Psychic. So I am unfortunately going to put Mew in the D tier. I'm so sad about it, but that's where it belongs. It feels so wrong to do that, but that's where it sits. That's where it sits. Let's move on to Celebi. Now, Celebi Go Fest 2018. So every year, pretty much, they release a new mythical. Volcanion was the latest one from 2025. Looking all the way back to 2018, Celebi. Now, Celebi is an example where there's also a shiny Celebi that came out, I think, through Masterwork research, but originally back in 2018. Now, this also is pretty bad, 210 attack. So it's pretty low as well, on par with Mew there, and it caps out as well at 3,691. So I don't know if they just copy and pasted the stats on that. But, you know, it is the 26th best grass type attacker if you use Magical Leaf and Leaf Storm. Again, I don't think that's going to be better for anyone, but unfortunately, because the grass category is a little bit less competitive than the psychic category, I will throw Celebi in the C tier. And like I said, that hurts a little bit. But moving on to Jirachi. Now, Jirachi was 2019's Go Fest. I think Jirachi's design looks really cool. I think it's a cool looking Pokemon. I don't really know what else it has going for it. I mean, I generally don't really use it for anything, but it has 210 attack, again, 3,691. Really suggestive of them just copy and pasting the stats across a few Pokemon there. But it is the 18th best steel type attacker using Charge Beam and Doom Desire. Now, Steel category has some really great players in it, like Zacian, obviously, Crown Sword Zacian coming out. We also have Dialga. We have some great steel types in that category. But I would probably also put Jirachi up there in the C tier, only because it plays a little bit higher than Mew did in the Psychic tier as well. The design is a little bit better. I think Jirachi's design is better than Celebi's design. I think Celebi looks like a vegetable. I don't like vegetables, so maybe I should move that down to a D, but you know, we played it where we played it, and let's hang with it. All right, Victini. Victini was the 2020 Go Fest one. And you'll remember Victini reappeared as part of the Unova Tour pass as well. So you had a second chance to get a Victini, but from memory, if you already had the Victini, you only got candy, which kind of plays into why I think a gold bottle cap is really useful on mythical Pokemon. And we'll see that again with Marshadow. If you already had Marshadow and you got the research a year later, you just get candy, you don't get a second one. So Victini, again, 210 attack, 3,691 max combat power, but it's 18th best fire type attacker with quick attack and V create. I love that name of V create. But again, if everything's being thrown on C tier, if it's just copy and pasted those stats, again, the fire category has some really great contenders in it. So I would never use a Victini in the fire category there as well. Then we have Meloetta. So Meloetta was 2021's 2021's Go Fest, 250 attacks. So this is where they moved them up a little bit. They moved the Mythicals up a little bit. I don't know if that's power creep or if that's just because they started to want to, change some of the stats rather than just copy and pasting. Maybe they thought, let's make mythical Pokemon a more viable Pokemon to use rather than maybe just a trophy to show that you participated as part of that Go Fest. So 250 attack, and the max combat power is 4,490. It's the 5th best normal type attacker using quick attack and hyper beam. Now, normal type Pokemon, bit of a snooze, right? Like, we have some great normal type Pokemon out there. I mean, we just had Shadow Regigigas. I know how everyone feels about that. Bit of a snooze, but normal Pokemon, they don't often have their place, but I welcome them. I welcome them. The design is pretty cool. The shiny design is pretty cool. An example where they gave you a second one of that as well. But because it's so high in the normal type category, I'm going to throw it in the B tier. So a little bit higher with that one as well. Then we have Zarude. So next up we have Zarude. Zarude was through special research in 2021. I'm really glad to have this because this was around the time I took a little break from the game. I was doing some traveling, but luckily I had a chance to get that special research, and I think it might have been tied to Sword and Shield from memory. But yeah, that has 242 attack, 4,334 on its max power, but it is the 4th best grass type attacker in the game using Vine Whip and Power Whip. That's absolutely huge. I know people say that Zarude has kind of a boring moveset. I don't know if they just don't like grass, right? But I think it's a good Pokemon. It looks really cool. I love the design. I think it's really useful, especially being so high up in the grass type category, especially that's against Megas and things like that. So I'm going to throw this in the A tier. Zarude, get in there. Get in there, big monkey. You deserve to jump in there. Then we have Shaymin. Shaymin from Go Fest 2022. It has 210 attack, 3,691 max power, so less than Zarude. And it shows. It absolutely shows on its ranking. 66 best grass type attacker with hidden power and grass knot. I mean, the animation on this was really cool. Like, if you remember when Shaymin just like sort of crawls out on the animation, that was really cool. But Shaymin, you're joining Mew here, pal. You can't hang. You can't hang. I know there's another form on that, but Shaymin as Shaymin, shame on you. Then we have, Keldeo. All right, so Keldeo, that was part of a 2022 event. Now, a lot of people missed this, me included, and we were really upset that as part of the Unova Tour recently, we were so confident that Keldeo was going to appear at the end of the research for the Unova Tour, and unfortunately, it never came. We waited, it never came, and it's so sad, right? Because Keldeo is absolutely fantastic, and I wish I had a 260 attack. It maxes out at 4,181 combat power, and it's the 6th best fighting type attacker using low kick and Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword's such a good move. Pretty much like if you look at Terrakion, you look at any kind of fighting type move. Sacred Sword, huge, huge, huge. You need Sacred Sword. It's up there with Precipice Blades. It's up there with Origin Pulse, well, maybe slightly behind those, but it's one of those moves that if your Pokemon has it, your Pokemon is immediately so much better. So yeah, Sacred Sword, 6th best in the category. I don't want to rank it high, but I think I'm going to have to throw it in the S tier category. I think I will, because as sad as I am not to have it, that is where it belongs. That is where it belongs. And I I have it in Sword and Shield, but I don't have it in Pokemon Go. That's the sad thing about Pokemon Home, is you can transfer things from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home, but you can't transfer them from Pokemon Home into Pokemon Go. And I think that's because there's too many hacked Pokemon in the mainline series that are easily hackable and they can't verify it into Pokemon Go. But it also could be that people would just fill their Pokedexes so quickly. So one of those two, the conspiracy in me says it's because there's too many hacked Pokemon in the mainline games, but also I think it would fill the Pokedex as well. Keldeo, S tier category there. And then we have Diancie. Now, Diancie has a little bit of a story about it. That dates back to GoFest 2023. Now, speaking of Pokemon Home, I was filling my home Pokedex. I wanted to complete my home Pokedex, and I was like, well, Diancie is bad. I mean, if we look at the stats, 190 attack. That's really bad. It's significantly worse than every other Pokemon that we have on this list here. And I'm like, I don't need it. I got Tyranitar's. I don't need a rock Pokemon. It's fine. I totally forgot, or no one told me, something happened that Diancie has a Mega Form that makes it one of the best Pokemon in the game. No one told me this. So I transferred it to Pokemon Home, and now I can't get it back. So I'm really sad about that, because like we said at the start with Mythical Pokemon, I don't think I'm getting another Diancie. I think that's it for me. I don't think it's coming back. So I am stuck with no Diancie, knowing that it is bad as it on its own, but on a Mega, it's huge. So when it becomes that Mega Diancie, it becomes the third best rock type attacker using Rock Throw and Rock Slide, the third in its category. Oh, what did I do? Like, it's a huge mistake of mine. It's something that stings every time, and it stings even more to throw it in the S tier. That is where it belongs. That is where Diancie belongs. I'm just looking at it being like, why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? But you know, we make the mistakes we do, and this is proof that not everyone makes great decisions in this game. Sometimes people make mistakes, and we just have to live with them. Marshadow. Now, Marshadow is something people recently got because it was available originally as part of GoFest 2024, and then generally a year later they released free research for people. It was called a Striking Shadow this year, and if you didn't get Marshadow as part of GoFest last year, you can complete that research and get Marshadow this time. If you did get Marshadow last time, then you will not get another Marshadow. So for me, for example, I played GoFest last year. I got Marshadow as part of that. I didn't get a second Marshadow, and that's why these gold bottle caps are really important. But if we look at Marshadow here, 265 attack, 4,217 on its max power, and it's the 17th best fighting type Pokemon using counter and close combat. Now that doesn't sound as impressive when we were just talking about Keldeo just before, but it is great, right? This is a great Pokemon. It looks fantastic, especially the animation on it when you play that. It's not quite an A, but it is better than a C. I'll go in the B. I'll go in the B category for that. And that brings us to the final and most recent Pokemon that has been released in the mythical category, Volcanion. Now, Volcanion is amazing. I have it because I was at the Go Fest in Osaka. If you're in Paris or you're in New Jersey, you will have it as well. If you don't have it, you will get it as part of the Go Fest ticket, which comes out next weekend. So next weekend is GoFest Global. If you have the ticket, you will get Volcanion. If you don't have the ticket, you won't get Volcanion. But next year, similar to how I said about Marshadow, you will get Volcanion then. So if you're happy to wait, you can wait and get it for free. If you get it this time, you will only get additional candy next time. As part of GoFest Global, I'm expecting to get more Volcanion candy and not a second Volcanion. So where does Volcanion rank as part of this? Now, 252 attack, so slightly under Marshadow, 4,102, which is strange, right? Like Marshadow is so small and Volcanion's so huge and its max combat power is lower. So go figure. This hasn't been put through its paces because it's only been available for a few weeks now. It hasn't fully been put through its paces. But given it has a really high attack, the fire category is already pretty stacked. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I'm going to put it in the B tier. And that's a pretty nice looking tier list, I think there. I mean, there's some things I hate what I see. Mew shouldn't be so low. I think Mew should be far more powerful. And, you know, if I'm being reasonable, like if I want what I want, Mew should be in the S tier. If I'm being reasonable and balanced, I think Mew should have a buff to go into the B tier. But that's just me. But what we got, Keldeo and Diancie in the S tier. So that is a solid choice, really solid choice for your gold bottle cap. Then the A tier, we have Zarude. Great option as well. Then if you don't have those three, then you could look at Meloetta, Marshadow, Volcanion when you get Volcanion. Then in the C tier, these are sort of the dregs, I think. Celebi, Jirachi, Victini. They don't perform very well. If it's what, and then Mew and Shaymin in D, right? If we look at those 5 Pokemon as a whole, if they are the only Mythicals you have, I don't know if I would use a bottle cap. I would think I would only use a bottle cap from B or higher. So Keldeo, Diancie, Zarude, Meloetta, Marshadow, Volcanion. I would use a bottle cap on them. Absolutely, absolutely. And from these, given I don't have Keldeo and Diancie, I'm probably going to use it on Zarude. Out of these, I think that's going to be my choice for the first gold bottle cap. But yeah, my Celebi and Jirachi and Victini and Mew and Shaymin, they have bad IVs. They're really bad IVs. But at the same time, I think then I'm not going to use them. Even if they had 100 IVs, I'm not going to use them. So that's my thoughts on which mythical Pokemon you should apply this to. There's some great options in here, understanding you don't have all of them. But if these Pokemon got bad rolls when you got them, and then you want to improve it, or you wish you got a better IV, those are the ones worth using it on. So remember, the gold bottle cap comes out as part of the Ancients Recovered Go Pass. You need the deluxe version, which is the paid version. Unfortunately, it is 20 USD, which for Australian viewers will be at around about 30 Australian dollars, I believe. It's £20 as well if you're in the UK. If you're in any other country, please just do a quick conversion. You'll find out what that is, but it's expensive, right? But the pass also comes with a bunch of other stuff like a Zacian mask, Zamazenta mask, incubator, raid passes, things like that. There's also the free track, but the gold bottle cap is not on the free track. So I think my Zarude's gonna cop it. My Zarude's gonna cop it. And now in the comments, I really wanna know, what are you gonna use it on? Are you gonna use it on a mythical Pokemon, legendary Pokemon? I don't think you should use it on a 98 to take it to 100. I think you should use it on something that's like an 80 and push it all the way to 100, because the gold bottle cap, just using a 2%, like a 98 to a hundo, yeah, you'll get your hundo, but it's an expensive exercise to do that, and you're only going to get around about 1% more attack power out of it. So I don't think it's worth it. I think it's worth taking something that's fully broken and making it perfect. That is what I think. But let me know in the comments, what are you going to use the gold bottle cap on? And did you love the video? What do you think? You want me to do more of these? Let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys.